Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to DC Fans United. So, I did one video about this show in the past, but now we have an actual trailer that came out at San Diego Comic-Con. So, what I'm going to do here is kind of go through and break it down, not exactly frame by frame, but more or less. It's only a minute-long trailer, but it goes by super fast, so there's probably a lot of things that you missed. And of course, I'll be giving my own take and opinion and thoughts on the trailer. Now, for copyright reasons, I'm not going to include the trailer in this video, but I'll have a link to it in the description box, so definitely watch it if you haven't. I am very positive about this show. I think it's going to be good. I'm really hyped for it. There are a couple things about it that kind of concern me a little, but I'll get into that a little later on in the video. So the trailer itself does start off with a warning, and that's for good reason. It does have a little profanity, actually a fair amount of violence, and some other things. It says adult themes and violence and explicit language, so it may not be for some viewers, which I'm okay with because, you know, I'm old enough, but in some ways I kind of wish they'd made it a little more, not necessarily for kids, but, you know, maybe a little more, I don't know, just more age-friendly for a wider audience. So this is definitely going to be a show for grown-ups, which there are a few things in it that are definitely kind of there for the kids or young audience, which to me makes it a little strange. Like, I'm not sure who it's marketed to, but maybe I'm the target audience. I don't know, because I do think it's going to be like a good show. Like, I'll find it to be really entertaining. I just thought it was a little strange that they went with essentially a harsh rating that I wouldn't have expected. So some really positive things about the show, which I do kind of think will attract younger viewers, honestly, is that it's very bright and colorful. I know it's very heavily influenced by the comics, the Harley Quinn comics by Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner. So a lot of the art is definitely done in her style, and it's, you know, the way she drew her. So it's going to be a lot of New 52 and Rebirth, which I'm okay with. I think Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner handled Harley's story the best outside of the, you know, the original Bruce Timm and Paul Dini Harley Quinn from the animated series. So I would have liked it if they stuck to the Bruce Timm influence a little bit more, but I did notice a couple of little almost Easter eggs in this trailer that, you know, are a bit of a throwback to the Bruce Timm universe, Timmverse. One of those, which you probably may have missed because he was only on the screen very briefly, is Lex Luthor. And to me, it looks like the Lex Luthor from, you know, Superman, the animated series. It was the Bruce Timm universe, so I'm not sure who Lex is talking to, actually. He's some big villain-looking guy. I mean, maybe it's their version of Deadshot or something. If you know who he's talking to, let me know. I've got the picture on the screen here, but I was kind of interested to see what Lex Luthor's going to be up to. And that's one big thing about this show. Yeah, it's a Harley Quinn show, but it's like really a DC, you know, kind of like Justice League Unlimited, where they had a ton of characters. So I saw quite a few just in this minute-long clip. A lot of, you know, not obscure, but ones you might not expect, like Dr. Psycho, who's a Wonder Woman villain, but it looks like he's going to be fairly prominent in this. He, Harley, and Clayface all seem to be a little group that's working together. We also saw some characters like King Shark, a lot of Batman's rogues, so Penguin and Scarecrow, and actually quite a few. They kind of go by really quickly. But aside from those, of course, we have the Joker, who we'll get into here in a minute. He looks like he's going to be fairly prominent in this show, which makes sense. And we also saw Batman himself. Batman looks really cool. He's kind of looking like the Dark Knight Returns Batman, honestly. I think that's what he's supposed to be influenced on. And both he and the Joker seem to be kind of the older versions of the characters. Now, the Joker himself, I'm not sure what he's going to be all doing. He definitely is going to be Harley's punching bag. We see that quite clearly. He beats him up a couple times just in this minute-long video, which, you know, is fine, I guess, but it's a little interesting. I hope there's more to him than that. We do get one frame where he's throwing her into the chemicals. So that's, of course, her origin story. So I'm assuming that's like a flashback, but we're gonna see their relationship. And pretty much my assumption is this whole series is going to take place after the Joker and Harley have already broken up. I think they're going to lean pretty heavily on that. We do see the Joker kill a guy in this clip, which is a little surprising. Well, he shoots him several times. I assume he dies. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a little heavy on the violence, which I don't have a problem with, but some audiences may, especially from Harley herself. Now, one character she beats up is Aquaman, so I'm not exactly sure how she was able to do that, but yeah, she throat punches him and knocks him down. So I don't know. It's very clear from this trailer, too, that Aquaman's going to be very much like a joke character. There's a little part at the beginning where he's just kind of acting like a clown and messing around with a dolphin. So it's kind of like, all right. And then there's a clip later where she punches him and knocks him down, which I'm not really sure she would be able to do since he's, super powered and obviously extremely strong and can survive, big under tons of water of pressure. But in any case, I'm going to let it slide since it's her show. There does seem to be a lot of good voice actors on the show. Now, one thing that's probably surprising to a lot of people is Tara Strong isn't going to be voicing Harley in this. They ended up going with Kaley Cuoco. So she's the voice actress. I think she does a good job. I'm just not really used to her as the voice, so it was a little jarring at first, but once you get used to it, it's not bad. Jason Alexander is going to be a voice, so I thought that was going to be cool. Wanda Sykes is a voice, and then there's a whole roster of other people that I'm less familiar with, so they've got quite a few famous people, and all the voices I heard in this seemed to be pretty good. So no, I had no issues with the voice acting or the animation. Let's see. So yeah, Harley and Joker, they've definitely, if they have their relationship in this at all, I think it's going to be flashbacks, and it's not going to be good. Now, we definitely saw Poison Ivy in this a few times. Seems like they're going to be hinting at a relationship between Poison Ivy and Harley, which makes sense. It's definitely something that happened in the comics. I'm just not sure if they're going to go, all the way with that, or if they're just going to tease it for a while. They kind of teased Batman and Harley a little bit, but that's just, she's almost like a fangirl. She's like, oh, it's Batman. So that was just a little, almost, I think, just to be humorous, honestly. And especially because it's the older Batman. He's just kind of like, okay, I'm not having it. So overall, trailer had a lot of action. You could watch it multiple times and still miss stuff. A lot of action, a lot of violence. It's definitely fun and funny. There's one scene where Harley's doing like a dance, which I guess is from Fortnite, which is a video game. And a lot of people are upset about that. They're like, she wouldn't do that. That's lame. And I'm like, to me, it's like, who cares? She is a crazy, silly character. Like, she would dance around. Just because they used a popular dance doesn't mean anything. Like, honestly, wouldn't have even known it was a particular dance if there wasn't outrage. So, to me, I just thought it was funny, of all things, to get upset about a particular dance that she was doing. Was kind of random to me. But, like I said before, too, there's a ton of characters. A lot of kind of obscure ones. Like, I think Egghead is in it, but I don't think he lasts very long, because it looks like he got broken or something. Does not look good for him, if that is indeed Egghead, but I kind of think it is. There's going to be a lot of other kinds of jokes that are very kind of like a deep cut, like you have to be a real kind of hardcore DC fan to know what they're talking about. So I am encouraged by that and a lot of the other things I saw in it. I'm just a little concerned they might be leaning a little too heavily on Harley beating up on Joker all the time. Like, yeah, have that, maybe even have a whole episode about that, but like, if it's a recurring thing that happens all the time, that's gonna wear thin pretty fast. But a lot of what I saw looked very good, and there was definitely a lot of humor and quite a few jokes within this trailer. I think a lot of the humor is going to be derived from Harley and Poison Ivy's kind of interactions, especially while they're going through that awkward phase. So I'm kind of looking forward to all of that. I think it's going to be really fun. I haven't seen anything really too much overall that makes me all that concerned. I kind of wish it wasn't just on the DC streaming app. I think that's only available in the United States still, which to me is kind of crazy. They're shutting out a huge well, over 90% of the world lives outside the United States. So I hope they open that up, and I guess that's all for now. Let me know down below what you thought about this trailer. Did you think it looked pretty good, or are you not hyped for it, or what did you think? So that's all for now. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't, and as always, thank you for watching and being a part of DC Fans United.
End of line. End of line.